Hello, everyone. This is Joe Lucia here for our weekly Tongren session. I look forward to working with everyone today. This is our Tongren Distance healing session. We have an audience of around 50 people from all over the world, and we're happy to help and support people for our healing session. This is our group healing session. And let's begin. And I'm going to set up Instagram as well, and we will be checking our people. There are 3 ways you can join us through anusarwellness.com/weekly on our website. And you can also join us from Facebook in 3 places. And you can also join us from Instagram. And let's do that. And I just want to get everybody visible for me. And we're good to go. So let's get all of our Instagram friends going. And let's just set that up right away. We have a 2-camera setup, and we'll get going right away for everyone. Instagram, there we go. Yep. So let's begin right away. We have a couple of people that have texted in, and I wanted to say that it's great to see everyone. If you haven't noticed, at the top, I put a bunch of links that people are asking for. So it looks like Happy Mama is here first. So blood flow to the brain. And her request is Chi for perfect blood. And yes, she has had perfect blood. That deserves a good announcement. Perfect blood. Perfect blood. Blood flow to the brain. So we have a 3-part process, which we're actually going to be teaching in 2 weeks. How to be your own healer and doing Tongren. So we want to work on perfect blood, lymph, and clear out toxins. So what we do a 3-part process. We initialize the brain, which is our command center for everything. And then we work on blood flow, nerve flow. Blood flow to the spine and nerve flow down the spine, but perfect blood, T1 and the bone marrow. So the bone marrow is like an organ. It is a production facility for white blood cells and red blood cells. And when that gets impacted, the bone marrow, it doesn't produce proper cells. And there are different types of cells for, say, myeloma, leukemia, thrombocytopenia, all these different things. So let's work on T1 for the bones and T7 for the spleen. So especially T3 for the lymph. Anti-inflammation, as always, and detoxing. So the best way to detox, of course, is through clay and charcoals, but especially clay. And welcome Emma from across the pond, a couple of ponds. And we will work on all of those, Emma. T7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, digestion, absorption, and elimination, and the detox organs, the liver and the kidneys. Liver and kidneys and the skin. So don't forget the skin. So 3 detox organs. The skin, T4, the liver, T9, right side, and the kidneys, L2. So that's also good for Kimby's, those detox organs, those detox centers. So let's do that again. T for perfect blood, T1, T7, and GB39 is a special point for the bone marrow. And we'll continue to do that for you. Vagus nerve, phrenic nerve down the torso to support the rest of the body, so balancing the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous systems. So let's make sure we're using the laser as well. So I'm curious, is anybody out there interested in learning Tongren? That'd be an interesting question. We usually have a great international audience and it's pretty fun. So let's continue on. We will work with Esther, upper respiratory infection, bladder, and daughter-in-law, fertility and emotions. So blood flow to the brain. So Kimby's, I sent you the video. Did you try it? Let me know if that video was helpful at all. So upper respiratory, so T1, 2, 3, bones, bronchial areas, and lungs. And infection, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And continue on for the bladder. T7 for blood flow, S1 to 5 for nerve flow. And we will also work on the fertility, L1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, T7, nerve flow, blood flow and nerve flow. And bladder 54 also for the bladder. CV4 also for the bladder and fertility both. Vagus nerve, CV4, GB12, CV4. Christos, great to see you. And people are asking, on the website, you don't need it. You can, most people go in as a guest. So it's quite easy. Yep, just use Intelligent Being. And I think you do have the option to change your name, but you don't have to log in. You don't have to create a password or any of that stuff. Pretty easy to work on. So for Esther, grounding, liver 3, and kidney 1. Let's work on CV17 also for upper respiratory for Esther. We don't want to forget that. And lung 1, lung 2, in the corner of the shoulders. Yep, Intelligent Being, you got it. And grounding, liver 3, and kidney 1. So let's work on Kimby's and Cool Human next. Detox, adrenals, and broken bones. So there are herbs, bone set. There are different things you can do if it's not healing. So you want to focus on the healing properties of the body, which are the immune system, which are the immune cells, repair cells, macrophages. So macrophages fix everything. So I would definitely do the aloe vera juice. I think it's listed at the top there for healing and removing those scars and fixing new stuff. You may have some scars in the way, but definitely try out the video that I sent you, the video with the Hannah Kroger technique for growing bones in 3 days. Okay, so blood flow to the brain. And blood flow to the spine. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for detoxing, but the detox organs. T4 for the skin, T9 for the liver, L2 for the kidneys. So let's do that again. T4 for the skin for detox, T9 for the liver for detox, L2 for the kidneys for detox. So let's work on the bones for the regrowth of the bones. Take 6 prunes a day. That's going to help to grow bone. There are great bone growing herbs. Algae Cal is one company. Bone Grow is another company product. And Osteo Herb is another type of herbal thing for the bones as well. Overnight clay poultice will be a great way to remend the broken bones. So blood flow, T7 for the foot, lumbosacral plexus for the foot, and the ouch point on the right foot itself. And GB13 right side for frustration and depression, and in Tong third eye to connect to the universe in many ways and balance the hormones. And most hormones are in the gut, so we do CV4. Lots of fermented foods, which will also help to grow your bones. Ground to the feet, liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's work with Lucy and Cool Human. Okay, Leonard, we got to get your doll replaced. Send me an address and I'll send that today. So that would be good. Okay, so we're looking at Nitika brain tumor. So check out HUISH, a woman who used frankincense inhaling to cure her brain cancer. Frankincense works on all kinds of cancers. But let's work from a Tongren perspective, blood flow, nerve flow to the brain. Right frontal lobe. Let's work directly on GB13 area, GB789 on the right frontal lobe. GB789 for the cranial nerves for the eyes to help with the returning of the eye and vision. Anyone after surgery, I always recommend yarrow, and in this case it would be yarrow tea. Removes scar tissue, helps regenerate tissue. So let's work on the right side of the face. And last time, it says here, we are here for the second time. Last time she had a little improvement in the right eye vision. Yes. Oh, the frankincense oil. I see it on the later part. I didn't read that. In diffuser since last week. But even better would be a steam bowl with frankincense and a towel to be more direct with the frankincense in the sinuses up to the brain. But it's all good. You're doing great. So let's continue on with the progress. We want to see progress. So melanoma for the skin, frankincense, as well as Tongren for sure. So blood flow, nerve flow to the brain, sky window. And oxygen, which is anti-cancer, vagus nerve, phrenic nerve, and CV4. Oxygenation for all cancers, actually all illness. And grounding to the feet, liver 3 and kidney 1. Did we do the ouch point for the right foot, for the broken foot? Let's make sure we didn't miss that. Liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's jump over to Facebook, then Instagram. And you next, Emma. Make sure we don't go past you. So Facebook, intelligent being. Oh, that'll become, oh, there it is. Digestion, constipation. So definitely constipation. The best way to do that is something developed by Tesla in 1895, a special process that I use for cleansing or for different things. But it releases oxygen, which is good for anti-cancer, and it releases and melts the mucoid plaque. I don't know what could be better than that. So that's a great option. We can talk about that more in terms of a process for cleansing and removing constipation long term. So let's work on blood flow to the brain. And for Emma, anemia. So we're going to work on the bones. We're going to work on constipation. And we're going to work on the eyes. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points, the endocrine system starting points. Command points of the brain stem. Blood flow, nerve flow, but let's work on T1 for the anemia. And the microbiome for absorbing and iron. T11, T12, L4, and L5. And we'll be with you, Leonard, just a moment. So for everyone, a lymph tune-up, including lymph mets requests from Emma. So the axillary lymph. And yes, Christos, good to see you. We will charge your battery and work on the melanoma. So a lymph tune-up for everyone. The axillary lymph, collection centers for the lymph, inguinal lymph, and the lymphatic duct to release, and the master lymph, the spleen, T7 right side. And for Gary for abdominal ascites. So we want to work on the heart, kidneys, and we have CV17 on the laser right now also for pneumonia. If we would focus our mind on CV17, it will increase energy and circulation to that area. So, how's everybody doing, by the way? You can all see and hear me well enough. I can see. Thank you very much. Cool human. And let's see if we can get this thing to work for us. So I'm just curious. People sign in, sign out, sign in, sign out. Is there a problem with the application? Something I need to fix? But it seems to be pretty common, unless that you're just trying to get a new name or something. That's okay too. But let me go back because I don't want to miss anyone. So again, T7 for the lymph, the ascites, CV4. Ascites is tough. Sometimes have to have drainage. Ascites sometimes is too sluggish. Detox. Sometimes ascites is the water from tumors breaking open because they are cells have a lot of water in them, and when they break up, die off, water is also released that way. So you need accelerated detoxing. Okay. So next we have and Tundakile. Hopefully I get that correct. Let's work for Carolyn and pneumonia. So blood flow to the brain and brain command points. So everyone take a deep breath and hang out to the end because I'm going to teach you a breathing exercise which will increase oxygen in your body. People signing it out sometimes due to the phone by accident. Yeah, I think that's what's going on, something like that. Thank you. So, pneumonia, lungs, T3, T3, T3 for the lungs, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. There's a great product, NAC for the lungs. Hot packs on the lungs, that's what got rid of my bronchitis. I had hot packs on the lungs to melt that mucus and the congealing of those bacteria and viruses, and then they get released. That worked for me, no medications. I'm not saying that to replace medications. I'm saying that's one option to support in conjunction with whatever you're doing right now. T3 for the lungs, L1, L2 for the lungs. CV17 on the laser for the lungs as well. And you're coming up next, Christos. We didn't forget you, don't worry. So CV17 for the lungs, lung 1, lung 2 for the lungs, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the infection and inflammation, and T3 for the lungs as well. And grounding for Carolyn. Thank you very much, Leonard. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And Catherine, you are next, because I have you right here. Guaranteed. I got all your list. Macular degeneration, blood vessels, blind spot, gallstones. We'll talk about that too. I wouldn't forget you. Are you typing in an Irish accent? Looks like it. Not sure. So next we have Christos. If any of you watch any of the shows like Masterpiece Theatre, the people from Ireland and Scotland, for the next day or two, I can't break that accent. Gets in my mind. So blood flow to the brain. So Christos, charging the battery for me. So we have CV17 and we'll work on CV4 and melanoma for the skin. And you can use clay poultices. A really good tip for melanoma is clay with frankincense as a poultice and then bandage it over and leave it over for a few days. And there's something even more that works out really well. There's an advanced skin detox or cancer removal process. I've used it successfully that we can use as well. And I can send you information for that. So for Christos and Fancy Chatter and Mermaid and Catherine. So let's work up. Let's work on the eyes for Catherine. So that would be a good software app, how to type with an accent, right? A Bostonian would be easy. Just use Grammarly, say remove all R's and say after every sentence. That would be easy. And I'm from Boston, so I can appreciate that. So let's work on the melanoma, but the eyes. We're going to work on the eyes first. Ouch point for the eyes. For Catherine, the macular degeneration she has listed, GV17. So 2 blood flows to the eye area, sky window, carotid artery, and also underneath we have the facial artery both. And Esty will be with you next. But we're also going to work on your left eye and cataracts at the same time. And we're going to work down to melanoma. Where is the melanoma located, Christos? What part of the body? If you can tell us. So we also want to work on the optical nerves, GV789 and GV23, the optic nerves. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So let me not miss your request. Tunzarakile. And you will also be next. Anti-inflammation and any melanoma or anything, oxygen. Phrenic nerve, CV17, diaphragm, oxygenation. I'll actually be teaching an entire workshop on oxygen. Oxygen cellular medicine. The root cause of inflammation, disease, dehydration, lower back, rib cage, right side. So we're going to work on all the ribs for Christos and your dad and for Les. I haven't seen Les yet, but we're going to still work on Les. I'm presuming he gives us permission again, Les and Eric. I did see Eric coming up later. So again, for the eyes, the blind spot. Blood flow to the eyes, facial artery, carotid artery, and cataract surgery. So definitely yarrow tea for a couple of weeks to remove scar tissue from surgeries. Yarrow. If it's superficial, you can put yarrow poultice. Otherwise, drink yarrow tea for a couple of weeks. So T1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for the skin for your dad there. Christos, if you don't mind me asking, how old is your dad? If you don't want to tell me, that's okay too. And grounding to the feet, liver 3, kidney 1, but let's work on that specific area. Lower back, rib cage, right side. Let's work on that right now. T7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for your dad. So I've worked with the ascites before with really good results with Tongren. We're going to work on gallstones for everyone. But 2 things I recommend for gallstones. One is to be drinking apple cider vinegar or apple cider vinegar water. And number 2 is a product, Jonca Piedra. It's called Stone Breaker. It's got a great track record for breaking stones. And of course, add in a lot of apples for the malic acid to soften the any stones. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's work on Instagram, breast cancer, breast health, lymph, hormone, emotional health, and rib health. So we got a lot of rib stuff going on. We're going to do some more ribs. And then we have fancy chatter. So blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. So it's good to see everyone. ST, Catherine, Lucy, Christos. Always good to see you. Emma, of course. Blood flow, nerve flow. T1, 2, 3, 4 for the breast. So blood flow is 2 parts for the breast areas. Vertebral artery, vertebral, gotta say that right. Vertebral artery. And the mammary artery from the front. Lung 1, lung 2 area. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Anti-inflammation, oxygen improving, but especially T3. So the hormones, GV20, 22, hypothalamus and pituitary to balance all the hormones. GB13 to the frontal lobe to balance normal emotional health. And the ribs, so let's work on the bones. And T1 to T12 for the ribs. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for fancy chatter of the Lyme. And brain inflammation. Thank you for that tip, Catherine. Let's just check something. Inflammation of the brain. So I would also do some sinus inhalations with oregano or frankincense for sure. Blood flow to the brain to reduce inflammation and T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And we'll do a lymph tune-up again for our Instagram friends. We won't miss anything. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for Lyme. Check your B12 levels, of course. And then for the hips, lumbosacral plexus. And this is also the lower back for Christos, right side. T7 to T12, right side for Christos, the lower back. And left hip, L1 to L5, left side for Mermaid 1. T1 to T12 for all rib health for Tundrokile. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So we have some instructions how to speak with a lilt. That would be cool. And thank you for joining us, Alistair Crowley. And we'll do, in a moment, a lymph tune-up. And make sure that I'm not missing or skipping anyone. So next we have intelligent being, intelligent local, and let's do that. Intelligent being, digestion, absorption, elimination, and constipation. The best thing to do is the advanced techniques from Tesla. Let's balance the hormones and the central nervous system. That's why we hit the points on the top of the head. Also good for anxiety, GB13, right side. Blood flow, nerve flow to the spine, where we find 80 to 90% of our points. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for digestion. T7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the microbiome, T11, T12, L4 and L5 for intelligent being. And we also have type 2 diabetes and Parkinson's. So one thing about Parkinson's, if you rule out Epstein-Barr virus, a misdiagnosis, very common, make sure you get plenty of B12 and all your essential amino acids. And there's a great herb, Mucuna pruriens, which helps. It's from Ayurvedic Indian medicine. It's a precursor, helps with the dopamine naturally without side effects. So let's work on the constipation, T11, T12, L4, L5, and S5. And you're welcome very much. T11, T12, L4, L5, and S1. And there's always Senna T, SENNA. Just making a quick note. Digestion, absorption, elimination. Also, CV4 for digestion, absorption, and elimination. And we have type 2 diabetes and Parkinson's and anxiety, which we will work on. Type 2 diabetes is caused from insulin resistance, from too many fats in the diet. If you cut your fat down to 10 and 20%, eat plant-based, high fiber, and you can reverse that within a month or two. Takes time and really good hydration. Blood flow to the brain. Parkinson's, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Whatever the cause, we work on the anti-inflammation areas. And we'll work on also abdominal hernia, ED, and edema for Alistair. So Kimbees, you did get connected, right? No live feed. Hello, got it now. Okay. Yep. Somebody showed up a minute late, and that was my fault. So should be okay now. So blood flow to the brain for Parkinson's, GB789 for Parkinson's, for the substantia nigra part of the brain, very specific. Type 2 diabetes, T8, right side, pancreas, and inflammation, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And joyful chatter, we have your requests as well. And grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. And next, the abdominal hernia, vagus nerve, phrenic nerve, torso, in abdominal hernia, CV4, inguinal areas, and ED is also T7 right side, T8 right side, but it's the same protocol for diabetes. Eliminate fats from the diet, insulin resistance, lots of fiber and hydration back into the diet. Plant-based nutrition. So let's work on the ouch points. So Les, good to see you. So we've done blood a couple of times, but we'll do it again. Absolutely. So insulin resistance for ED and 3 types of diabetes. Type 1 is the pancreas issue. Number 2 is a food issue, insulin resistance. And number 3 is an inflammation issue, same problem as type 2, but it causes Alzheimer's and dementia. And grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. So somebody's waiting on a kit. Which kit is that? Just to remind me, so make sure I'll double check it. Make sure everybody gets everything. We're going to work on eyesight problems, edema, and working on exhaustion. Gastroparesis, is that the operation? I can't Google it this second, but if you just want to give me a little more information, that would be great. Blood flow to the brain and working on the eyes. So the ouch point of the eyes, the blood flow to the eyes. Neurological dysfunction, so blood flow to the brain. Vitamin B12 would be highly recommended. Sublingual 3-part B12 is the best. Exhaustion, always rule out Epstein-Barr virus, Lyme disease. Anti-inflammation, T123478. So yes, great civilian, which kit is that? And gastroparesis, T789, 10, 11, 12. But neurological, we initialize the entire central nervous system, GV 19, 20, 21, 22. GV 19 and 21 in particular. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery. And gastroparesis, CV4 once more. And grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. And wandering newbie, great civilian, and less. Blood flow to the brain. Tap for Ms. Bow by request, remove cancer in lymph, lining of lung, left side, and increase white blood cells, levels low on chemo, 3 times a week. For me, please tap to improve prostate health, lower PSA, and improve hearing, especially left ear, left more, TLC. Blood flow to the brain, and let's work right on the left ear right away. Cancer is an oxygen deficiency. Cancer tumors are temporary tumors. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery, and T3 for the lymph for everyone, especially wandering newbie. T1 for the bones and white blood cells. T1, 2, 3, 4 for wandering nubri. T1 for the bones. T2 for the bronchial areas of the lungs, and especially left side. T1 for the white blood cells. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for less for shingles. So for less, the bones, the lymph, T3, T1 for the bones, T3, L3 for the prostate area, for less and wandering newbie. Always good to do your inflammation markers, tests with the doctors. And work on all the ribs, especially the curved area at the bottom of the ribs for less. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Tromil is really good for that, or arnica cream is really good for that as well. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 detox from the chemo. L3 for the prostate and the ears. Vestibulocochlear nerve, blood flow, sky window, nerve flow, vestibulocochlear nerve for the ears. And for oxygen for less and everyone with cancer. Phrenic nerve to the diaphragm, CV17. So somebody has to ground with kidney 1, otherwise they have a chi overload. Wow. That's a great tip. Laser on kidney 1 to grounding to the earth. There are earthing techniques. You can do earthing mats, all kinds of grounding techniques, and that's a great one. And some more for the ribs for less. CV4 for less for the prostate area. And grounding to liver 3, and again, of course, kidney 1. So if we didn't do it already, the edema, CV4 for Alistair, and the kidneys. L2 and kidney 1 also. So bladder 54 for the edema, and liver 3, and kidney 1 especially for the edema. So we did blood in the bone marrow a couple of times. We'll do it again. Okay, so yep, you didn't order the kit. You ordered it from Tongren shop. Okay, so they should be getting that to you shortly. And then, yeah, if you want to join the class, let me know. We get our next class February 26th. We're going to have a great group of people. It's always international, and it's a great way to get lots of practice working on each other and getting your own formulas and protocols for yourself. And probably from them you got my book as well anyway, which is helpful. But yep, the doll and hammer and the laser, they don't sell the laser. So blood flow to the brain. Intrigued self. I love these names. Stomach paralysis, gastroparesis. You got it. I'll work on that again. Kidney for Phyllis's dog. Vertebral artery, spinal artery to the kidneys. L1, L2, L3. Stomach. So let's work on that. Stomach, nerves. T9 left side. And the vagus nerve. And the pituitary, which manages a lot of that sometimes. And L1, 2, 3, and bladder 54 to also support the kidneys for Phyllis's dog. Foster. Hello, Foster. And for everyone, vagus nerve to CV4, the gut-brain axis. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And we are right on time. If you want to follow along to a breathing technique, which will accelerate or activate the parasympathetic nervous system, also create increased oxygenation of the tissues. So breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 6. And I will also do Qigong at the same time. Focus on the Dante and charge the battery for everyone. And the clearing tone for everyone. Thank you all for joining. Be kind to one another. Have a great day. Looks like we're pulling out of the tunnel of the pandemic. So best wishes to all of you. Thank you for joining and hope to see you next week. Look forward to hearing your responses, your questions, and anything else that I can do to help you. Please let me know. Take care. Blessings to all of you. Bye now.